right, that's Hard Rock. What about Thunder Valley in Lincoln? Well, it says it will open up June 8th. Red Hawk Casino near Shingle Springs will also reopen that day after initially announcing it would do so a week earlier. So June 8th is the day. And several other tribal casinos plan to reopen soon. And with that, we bring in CBS 13 political analyst Gary Dietrich, joining us with why the governor, Gary, can't stop them. Not much he can do, right?
Absolutely, Tony. One of the things that's important to remind people of is that Indian tribes have sovereignty on their lands, and there's many things that the government cannot do, including ordering them to shut down. So people are saying, why can't Newsom do something about this? Well, he sent a letter requesting their delay, but he has no legal authority to keep them from doing what they're doing.
All right, so Gary, Newsom now facing challenges from his own party. What's going on here?
Well, this is really key and very important because inside the legislature, which of course is controlled both houses by Democrats, we're hearing increasing calls, including this week, from the Senate's Budget Committee chairperson, who said we need more of a say going forward in how these monies are going to be spent related to the COVID pandemic crisis, and also wondering, members wondering if the governor's overstepped his bounds in a whole variety of ways. They cite some 200 different changes he's made since the COVID crisis started to state laws, at least on a temporary basis. So expect to see the legislature flexing its muscle. And in fact, its own legislative analyst said they need to be careful that they don't cede too much power to the executive branch during this crisis.
Interesting times at the Capitol, that's for sure. So let's talk churches reopening. Gary, we're going to play some sound, but first let's set you up. More than 1,000 pastors saying their churches will reopen on the 31st. Now, could they have a case after that DOJ letter citing discrimination to the state? Here's what the attorney for the Cross Culture Church in Lodi had to say on CNN.
These pastors, they're looking at the secondary effects of what has occurred as a result of this coronavirus shutdown. From their congregants and members of their community who've committed suicide or are suffering from severe depression and anxiety. People have had job losses.
Well, the U.S. Department of Justice has weighed in on this, and yesterday the Assistant Attorney General sent a letter to Newsom saying, we're concerned that the Constitution grants California houses of worship more authority than they're being afforded. And so watch this constitutional battle, you could say, particularly over religious liberty, really escalate, I think, in the next week, because the notion is you can't keep religious congregants from gathering if you're going to let people, say, go into a Walmart.
All right, Gary, and I promise one day we'll get back to talking about presidential politics as well, eventually. Thanks
That's right. We do have a presidential race this year, sometime anyway.
Oh, by the way, we'll see you soon, hopefully.